Since the Taliban takeover of Afghanistan, the crisis in Afghanistan has influenced a lot of reaction in India, and many of them, as you can expect, is toxic and misguided. So let's talk about that. Something that is being pointed out a lot is the staggering difference in the voice for hashtag Save Palestine and hashtag Save Afghanistan. Although this staggering difference is true, the comparison is stupid. Let me explain why. In case of Palestine, the aggressor is Israel, and Israel is a democratic country. In case of Afghanistan, the aggressor is Taliban, and Taliban is a radical religious terrorist organization. Moreover, Israel is an outside force in comparison to Palestine, while Taliban is an inside force within Afghanistan. Social and political pressure works a lot more on democratic governments because they need to maintain a global image to benefit from global cooperation. Plus, if it's a democratic country, then they also need to win elections, and for that public image is important. An Islamic terrorist organization like Taliban doesn't care about global image as they don't have elections to win, and they know they won't be getting global political cooperation anyway. Their financial aid comes from backdoor politics or power struggles, and public image or civilian support has absolutely nothing to do with that. Another thing that's being called out a lot is that UN is being pointed out as useless. Well, no, they ain't. The primary reason behind the existence of UN is to prevent a World War III and wars in general, and as you can see in the chart below, they have done a pretty good job of it. Plus, let me point out that it was UN who organized the ceasefire in the Israel-Palestine aggression in recent history. The situation in Afghanistan does call for UN intervention, and there will be one, just not immediately. In fact, UN has already taken note of the situation and will be calling a meeting on this pretty soon. But in the meantime, do keep raising your voices for Afghanistan. Although unlike Israel-Palestine aggression, it won't affect the aggressors in Afghanistan, but it will pressurize the global leaders to intervene faster. It will pressurize them to take refugees from Afghanistan, to hold on rescue operations, etc. So do keep raising your voices. Coming to my lovely country of India, let's start with the Indian government. The current Indian government has actively started evacuating Indians from Afghanistan, which is good. And they also seem to be interested in accommodating Afghan refugees. But according to the statement put out by them, they want to help Afghan Hindus and Sikhs, not Afghans in general. Even during tragedies and crises like this benevolent government doesn't stop discriminating against Muslims. Yes, Taliban is an Islamic terrorist organization, but most of their victims are also Muslims. It's simply because Afghanistan is a Muslim majority country by a huge margin. Yes, the Taliban do discriminate against non-Muslims, but they don't hesitate on oppressing the Muslims or straight away abusing them, especially women either. So most people running away from them are also Muslims. Take at this flight going to US for example. How many of these refugees does look like a non-Muslim to you? Then there's the argument that at least India is actively rescuing civilians. Yeah, India is, but even in that they're discriminating against the major section of the civilians. And secondly, so is most other countries. You just saw plane that is going to US. And then there's Canada, there's France. There's pretty much every country with similar amount of resources. And India is probably the only one who has brought up the religion of the refugees as a checklist for helping them.
Albanian president has said that the country is ready to temporarily host hundreds of refugees bound for the United States. Iran, which borders Afghanistan, has set up camps in 3 provinces for temporary refuge for those fleeing Afghanistan. On Friday, Canada has said the country has announced it will take in 20,000 vulnerable people who face direct threat from the Taliban. Qatar, according to ANI, has said that it will draft an agreement to temporarily house thousands of Afghan refugees.
And a common argument to defend that pathetic argument is that even with 56 Islamic nations, it was India who gave refuge to Rohingyas. Well, no, India did. India was stuck with them till the government, this current BJP government, bended laws, brought in new laws, completely undemocratically, and finally threw them out recently. And also, they didn't try taking refuge in India because they were targeting India. It's simply because India is a neighbor of Myanmar. You see, Syrian refugees, refugees from Syria, Venezuela, Sudan, Somalia, Yemen, etc., they are not trying to come to India. And even when they're trying to go to a far off country, India is not on the top of the list. And then there's come the even more pathetic argument that we need this government to prevent this happening in India. No, we don't. India doesn't have Taliban. India doesn't have any strong radical Islamic organization with enough political power to take over the government. There is no Islamic revolution happening or anything close to that in India. Pretty much all the strong radical religious groups in India are Hindutva organizations. In fact, the ruling party BJP itself is a branch of RSS, the largest of them all. The organization that has been behind riots, behind militant discrimination, behind armed aggressions. And we need this government to defend India from a religious radical takeover. No, we don't. This government itself is the problem. Now a lot of Indians are telling that, look, this is what real terror looks like. Look, the Indian government is not like that. We are at so much better place. Be grateful. Yes, BJP government is a hell lot better than Taliban. With all the shit they have put India through, they are still not as terrible as Taliban. I know dozens of terrible people, and they are all hell lot better than an Talibani militant. But I don't hang around with them. I don't call them my friends because they are still terrible people. And that's what I want for India. I don't want a government that is not as terrible as Taliban. If we set the bar that low, even North Korea might qualify as something better than Taliban. And guess what? The Afghan Muslims did not elect Taliban. And the Indian Muslims definitely did not elect Taliban. But guess who elected riot masterminds as Prime Minister and Cabinet of a democratic country?